Alright guys, welcome to another episode of Devo Does Stuff. This is my new project. 2008 Kawasaki Teryx 750. I've not done anything to it. Supposedly it has low compression. So this is more than likely going to be a multiple video project. I'm not going to do a real long one. But let's get this tarp off of here and start digging into it and see what we find. Yes. Alright, here it is the next day, and most of this stuff was already torn off of here. I took the gas tank out, took this bar here out, got the gas tank bolts to, and got me a breaker bar, put on the clutch. This clutch is reverse thread, so not doing anything. I'm afraid I'm going to strip that thing. This felt like it just loosened up a little bit. Oh, this is reverse thread, no wonder. Duh. I'm going the wrong way with it. Okay. That's not doing anything. So also did that to the other side, right down in there under those two wires. So that didn't do anything. I ended up loosening that bolt up too. So I have sprayed WD-40 down in the intakes, which I can see the valves in there and they look good. Tell if I'm on it or not. The spark plug holes, where both the spark plugs are missing. I did find them in that box over there. So I tried the starter. Somebody had put a new starter on it. Well, it worked fine, so I found the old starter and I decided to hook it up and see, and it was fine as well. So now I got two starters. I cleaned it up a little bit, but I think somebody has thought their starter was bad, but it was actually just the motor locked up. But it was actually the motor locked up. So I'm going to let this soak for a few days. I may put that starter in there and see if it'll turn over, but it appears to be locked up solid to me. So my next step is, I think if I can't get it to move, I'll start by taking the heads and the pistons off the cylinders. And hopefully it's locked up, but hopefully that's where it's locked up, is in the top end, because if not, then the whole thing's got to come out to be rebuilt. Alright, here's where we're at so far. I have the rear cylinder exposed. I have the valve covers and the head removed. Next, I took this assembly here off, which I didn't disconnect all the cables and everything. I've just got the bolts that hold it all on there out of the way and off to the side. And then this was here. I just took it off just to get it out of the way. Next, I'll take these valve covers, see if there's anything visibly wrong inside here. Then I'll take the head, which I have to take this tensioner here out to get the head off, because that cam chain on this other side is way back inside there, and it was really hard to get to, but this one should be a breeze. So I'll get this stuff knocked loose and we'll come back. Alright, I got the valve covers off. See if I can get this around where I can see it. And got the cam off. Cam looks pretty good. It's got a little bit of wear on it, but not excessive. But I noticed on both sides this compression release, automatic compression release, it's like stiff. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like that. I feel sure that it's not supposed to be like that. I put some oil down in there and it doesn't seem to help it at all. So I'll be looking into that. But now I've got to take the exhaust pipe loose to get this head off. And there's I think there's 4 head bolts that hold that head to the cylinder, and I'm telling you what, they're real tight. So let me get started on that. I'll take that front one off first, because it's got more to pull out, and hopefully I'll be able to get it off. We'll see. Here's the front cylinder, and it looks like these 4 head bolts do the majority of the holding, because all that's left after the head comes off are these 2 and this one right here. So over here on the rear cylinder, it's going to be these 2 and another one over here, right there. So only thing holding that right now is this cylinder, or the piston rings, and whatever kind of gasket or sealant, whatever they have here between this block and this cylinder head. So alright, I gave both those cylinders a good whack with my rubber mallet. You can see they're both loose now, so let's see what happens next. Oh crap. Get in there without knocking the tripod over. just dropped. Ooh. This one. Got a good bit of wear right there. Good bit of wear. Wow. Just on that one right on the front. That's probably gonna need replaced. Like that. You know what? I don't remember seeing that on the other. There it came. I don't remember seeing that on the other cylinder. Just dumped a bunch of coolant down in there. This one's got a wear ring up near the top, but nothing like that other one. Rings are all free. Set this down. These rings are all free as well. Oh my. Well, that's not what we wanted. These are locked. Oh. These are locked up. Yeah. This engine's going to have to be pulled, split, probably new crankshaft, and probably new cylinders and pistons as well. So my good deal that I got on this is not going to be as good as what I originally had thought. I've already looked at the kits on eBay, and somewhere in the 1800 to 2000 range for new crank, bottom end kit, and a top end kit. So more than likely that's what it's going to need, but I'll mess with it a little bit and see if I can't get it tore apart, broke loose at least, where I can get it moving. We'll see. And it went from being locked up to freed up once I took these connecting rods off. I'm not sure where I left off, so I'm just kind of recapping. Got the connecting rods off. They were locked up tighter than a banjo string. Here's the first one I took off didn't have these bearings on it. Were completely gone. Then when I took the second one off, maybe it had one bearing. That's what it was. It had one bearing. The other one was completely gone. When I took this second one off, this one was jammed up underneath of this one, like such. So I thought, as I was feeling around down in there with my magnet, and I found this. And I thought that was all that was left of one of my bearings, but it's not. I don't really have any idea what that is. So then I got to feeling around. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there's just a little bit of a gap right there between the front and the back half of the engine. And I could get my magnet through that. And so I was digging around back in there with my magnet just to see what I could find. And I came up with this. It's not focusing. Which I feel like is part of some kind of gear or something. I don't know. And then I came up with this, which I did find in my manual. And this is actually made in two parts. This is half of a bearing. And it looks like it's actually made like this, half and half. It must tie into the other one somehow. I don't know. But the cylinders weren't in too bad shape. The pistons got a little scarring on them. But the next step is to pull this motor and tear the cases apart. And I've been away from this so long because I had to order some tools. One tool to pull this clutch, another tool to pull the flywheel over on this side to split this case. And I haven't ordered any parts yet because I have to split that case and make sure that there's this comes from right on the other side of the case from where my finger is. This shaft right here, the first thing after it penetrates this case is this 2/2 bearing. So if that is tore up, and then it's going to need a new case, and at that point it's probably going to be easier just to get a new rebuilt motor as opposed to getting a rebuild kit. Because if you have to buy a case half or a complete case, you're just as cheap just getting a rebuilt motor from what I've seen. So we'll get to tearing this out and see what we can find. You can see the motor's out. And really, it wasn't all that bad. There's 2 bolts. I got one here that runs through the motor, and one down here. That one wasn't too awful bad, but this one, I couldn't get on it. It was in a tight spot. I couldn't get on it with tried my 1/2-inch breaker bar, started off with 3/8, and that wasn't going to do it. So I ended up having to take this belly pan off. You can see it's gone. There's a belly pan that's like the floor of this whole thing. I had to take it off to get to that from underneath. I pushed this thing up on my ramps and got it that way. So here it is. I got it up on the bench. I'm ready to start tearing it down. I'm beginning to wonder if this crankshaft might clean up. I just don't know. The more I touch it, the more I think maybe not. I was kind of hoping maybe so, but everything seems to be moving good now that I got the connecting rods off. And I still think it's shot. And so I don't know what to do next, whether to take the clutch and the drive end off, or get over here and start on the flywheel side. I'm thinking I might turn it around and get the belt and these assemblies off first, just to get rid of that extra weight and balance it out a little bit more. But this, I'm guessing I got to take this off, and then all these little ones around here. And I got a tool to pull the flywheel once this is off. And then I got a tool to pull the clutch assembly, which is, I believe, the back's, no, this is the clutch assembly here, right here. So I got a tool to take that off too. So that's probably what I'm going to do, is turn that around and start on that side.